Hello and welcome to this episode of Ready Select Start Hardware, and today we're having a look at this laptop I've recently purchased. This is a Lenovo Thinkpad T500. Now the reason I purchased this machine is mostly because my other laptop, my MSI Ghost Pro, it's not really the sort of machine that you can take out and about and use it in a more business centric use. It's got a backlit keyboard, light up logo on the back. It very much draws attention to itself. It also doesn't have particularly great battery life neither. So I thought I'd get a second-hand machine to tie me over, one that's a bit more business rather than gaming. And I've always wanted to own a Lenovo ThinkPad. Well, originally IBM who made ThinkPads originally, but they were brought out by Lenovo, or at least the computer side of the business was. I decided I'll get a ThinkPad. After all these years of wanting one, ever since I saw them in shops back in the 90s. Now the one I've got here is a T500 system. So this laptop, it's, you know, let's just be completely blunt and honest, it's not the most attractive of machines in relation to more modern systems. But what it lacks in your face looks, it makes up for in terms of features and usability. So like many ThinkPads, it is designed to be used for as a proper workhorse. So for example, it's got a roll cage for a chassis. It's got a interchangeable battery. It's not like some laptops where you can't change the battery. It's also got interchangeable disk drive as well. It's easy access to the hard drive. And to be honest, most of the parts can be interchanged. The keyboard is really easy to get out. Even the entire front will lift off quite easily. Now, this system, when it was new, this particular one shipped with Windows 7, but the T500s actually started off with Windows Vista. They do also support Windows XP, and that's one of the other main reasons I brought this machine, is I wanted an XP machine to play games I've got that don't play nicely with Windows 10, but do run absolutely fine on the XP. So I've got this machine dual booting XP with 7. I also chose this one because it's got dual graphics array, so it's got Intel G45 chipset from board, but also an ATI Mobility 3650 graphics chipset as well. So it handles games quite well. It's comparable to an NVIDIA 8600 MGT of around the same period, or 9600 MGS around 2008-2009. This particular machine was manufactured. It's kitted out as well, so it's got Wi-Fi, LAN, 56K dial-up. It's also got a 3G port as well, so you can put in a SIM card and use 3G for data. But I'll go through the full laptop with yourselves now. I do love this design laptop. I know it's not for everyone, but I just think it looks more like a laptop and less like a toy. So I'm going to go through the I/O for yourselves now. So on the left hand side here, what we've got is VGA port, display port, sorry, LAN, 3 USB 2s, expansion slot, and on the front of the system we've got Firewire, we've got Wi-Fi toggle switch here, audio in and out, a 4-in-1 card reader, and then of course the clip to open up the lid. On the other side we have a DVD CD rewriter drive and the RJ11 socket for the dial-up modem, and on the back we just have a power socket. So nice minimalistic system, but all the ports that you could really need, just what you want. Now I'm going to run through the front of the unit with yourselves now. Okay, so on the main part of the laptop we've got trackpad here, we've got buttons front, we've got fingerprint reader, secure login. We've also got a nice keyboard, much better than the chiclet /Island style keyboards. I much prefer one with good feedback, which this keyboard certainly gives. It's a good keyboard. Not as good as the really old keyboards you'd get on the ThinkPads, but still nice. I'm quite happy with it, to say the least. We've also got volume controls. We've got page next and previous here as well. Media controls. We've got the nubbin here, or nipple, depending on what you want to call it. This doubles up as a mouse. And you've got your mouse keys here as well for use of that. Then we've got the ThinkVantage button here, which brings up various system utilities and all the status lights that you could want. So nice and straightforward. We've also got upwards firing speakers as well, which is absolutely perfect, just what you'd want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the unit on, and we'll give it a quick go, and I'll show you a few of the games I've got on here. Okay, so here we go. I've loaded up the system, going into SimCity 2000 now, just as an example. A game on it, and of course this will run on Windows 10 as well. I'm not demonstrating necessarily older games that specifically will work with XP. So we'll just get ourselves in, and there we go. Now unfortunately, because my other laptop's nearby when the fans are going good, and I'm not so sure you're able to hear the audio from the laptop. But the audio performance is actually pretty good, to be honest. It's not too bad at all. There's certainly no complaints. Yeah, the trackpad's pretty responsive. I use the nubbin, which isn't really ideal for this sort of task, to say the least. I mean, what it isn't too bad for is sort of just general navigation, something that doesn't need a lot of precision, like so. And you can move it around just as you wish. You know, yeah, it's pretty good, pretty decent system overall, and it's only cost me £70 as well. I've put an SSD in here, as it's got a 256 gig SSD, dual booting Windows 7 and XP. And for £70, it's a whole lot of machine, to be honest. So going to another game here, going to Sim Tower. I mean, yeah, this isn't exactly a particularly taxing game at all. Yes, it's quite a nice system. The screen resolution is 1280 by 800, which isn't brilliant, but given the graphics chipset on here, given it's the Mobility 3650, I'd much rather have a lower resolution screen and have games run smoothly, to be honest. There we go, so a little bit of Sim Tower on the go, which I will do a full proper look at some point, to be honest. But yeah, it's just as an example there. So yeah, no, the system is pretty good. I do like ThinkPads. I actually ended up buying two of them because the first one I bought didn't have the dual graphics. One other thing which I do like about the system as well, which doesn't really apply to newer machines, but press this button here, get a nice little down firing light to light up the keyboard for when you use it at night time. I've seen that modern laptops have backlit keyboards, so it doesn't really matter, but I do quite like it as a feature. It's quite nice. Yeah, and that flickering that you're seeing on the camera, that's not actually on the screen. It's the camera I'm using out of sync with the monitor. But yeah, it's super snappy. I mean, it is XP, but the system has 4 gig of RAM, it's dual core P8400 CPU, so it certainly is quite speedy. I'd say the main issue with the laptop is its weight.